Hey guys, welcome to a Tower of Babble TV breakdown. We're talking Star Wars The Clone Wars and the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, so stay tuned. Hey guys, we're back.
We're back. Okay.
We're back.
Okay, we're back.
We're talking TV. Not much really going on in the TV world this week, at least for us anyway.
Other than Game of Thrones.
Well, yeah, we talked about Game of Thrones. If you want to hear that, it'll be posted separately on our YouTube channel. And probably have a separate post as well on the website. Star Wars, Clone Wars. There was more info was revealed with an interview with one of the guys still on who wasn't laid off at LucasArts.
Yeah.
He's in charge. I can't find his name here now. Filoni, Dave Filoni. They were going to do a 6th season. It was canceled. Mm-hmm. But they had work on story arcs that aren't released but will be. So they have a 66 Order 66 storyline, which is supposed to. They have some info on that, and they have a new one that they talked about actually just today, which was an interview with USA Today. Was with a about a Jedi called
Sifo Dyas.
Sifo Dyas, yeah.
Sifo Dyas in the movies is the Jedi who commissions the clone army, but he's dead when we first hear about him in episode 2. Right?
Do we know how he dies? Do they say?
No, they just say that he was there, like when Obi-Wan goes to Kamino to see the clone, to investigate, right?
Yeah.
They say
Which
that
cool.
Master Sifo Dyas was there like 10 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And he died shortly after that.
Well,
that's all we know.
So they don't even know like how he.
We also know he was closely tied with Dooku, though.
Okay, so he might have been like one of his former.
I'm not sure what exactly their relationship was.
That's interesting. Obviously, we all already know that the Clone Wars are commissioned by Sifo Dyas, but it was all in the Emperor's plan to get to.
So Sifo Dyas was a patsy potentially. Yeah. I think the impression that I got from the movie was that he was somebody that Count Dooku used to start this.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think
Count Dooku seems pretty sick to be in the show. Then, if he's he's like important.
Yeah.
I think. I don't think Count Dooku knows that Palpatine is the Emperor.
No, he's got to.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He does. Of course
There's
he
no
does.
way.
In episode 3, when Dooku dies, he looks at him and then Palpatine convinces Anakin to kill him, and he's like surprised because his master's letting him. Like he's like, no, he's finished. Kill him, and then he even uses the Darth Sidious voice when he says, "Do it." That's like our famous most favorite quote.
Do it.
Oh my God.
It's like, no, it's not the Jedi way.
No, I'm pretty sure Dooku knows.
I don't know. I don't know.
I see
based off from the show. He does a lot of stuff.
I haven't even done any Clone Wars. I've seen a couple random episodes. I want to get into it, but
it's really
I'm
good.
Start, but I have a list of.
But based off that, I don't think he knows. And they do a distinct job in this the Clone Wars of separating Palpatine from Darth Sidious.
What would change if he knew? Like
the whole dynamic of the war. The whole thing is that the Separatists and Dooku is the leader of the Separatists. The de facto leader of the Separatists is fighting the.
It's not like everyone knows. So what does it matter if he?
No, but I think it would change things. I don't know.
Most people don't know though, so that's just his ability is to change his character and be that evil person.
It's not clear, like, in terms of the movies. Episode 1, Darth Maul is the apprentice.
Yeah. And
he's killed. And episode 1 is the first time that we meet Anakin and the first time that the Emperor hears about Anakin. But he doesn't really know. So when he takes on Count Dooku as apprentice, he's not just using him to get to Anakin eventually, whereas by the time we get to episode 2 and 3, he knows that he wants to turn Anakin and he doesn't really care about Dooku.
And it's not like they have this plan, like in the movies, Darth Maul dies. Like, they didn't plan, like, we're going to cartoons.
Oh, I know, obviously.
It's all worked around, and sure, you can call it canon or whatever, but, like, it's not like they know exactly what they're doing all the time.
Oh, no, I didn't. It's just because you know what's going to happen, because this leads into episode 3. There's a lot of stuff that they do just purely to add to the story. Like, so you know, by the time episode 3 comes around, Anakin is very dark, and like almost completely different than he was in 2.
They have to, because that's what he makes.
Yeah, I know. So like the whole Clone Wars stuff, you can see that change.
Yeah, for sure.
He's pretty dark in 2 as well.
Yeah, but not.
But in the Clone Wars, it takes a while. I watched
all those.
I watched 3 seasons of the 5, whatever.
Yeah,
and I wasn't seeing any evil.
But the last episode I watched, he did a 4th.
Well, yeah, that was probably season 5 or whatever. Right?
Season 4.
Season 4.
Yeah, by the time he gets to episode 3, he's also much more mature. But and he knows his powers, and he knows that he's one of the most powerful Jedi. In
the movies, the reason why he changed was because of Padme or whatever.
Yeah, because he wanted to bring her back to life.
And then what happened with his mom, right? What happened with his mom? And he couldn't make it happen, and then he sees it with Padme, and he's not going to let it happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a story arc in Clone Wars in the last season 3, well, not the last season, but in season 3, where they go to this weird place. Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka go to this weird place that's like the center of like the Force, and you have like an embodiment of the light side and the dark side, and a father who's like in charge, like not like he's maintaining a balance essentially, and he's like going to die, and he wants Anakin to take over his position as like keeping the balance of the Force. So there's the dark side son, essentially. They're just called the son and the daughter. Kind of at one point shows Anakin the future, shows him what he's going to become. There's even you hear the and like you hear the Empire. Like they don't use any of the music from the movies really. They just use some audio cues every once in a while. But you hear like the theme, like the dun 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 dun. And he's like, okay, well I have to prevent that from happening. So I'm going to rule the universe with like this dark side like embodiment to prevent bad things from happening, because so many bad things happen because of me, so I'm gonna prevent this. And so essentially it all gets wrapped around with that
self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, they wipe his memory, so he can't ever know.
Okay, that's
but so it was cool at that one point. It's like it just kind of weird in that episode alone. He's like, well, I see that I'm going to do bad things, so I'm going to become this thing that I don't want to become.
But I'm also not going to do.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do those things. I guess I don't know. It was weird, but it was definitely a very cool idea, and it's a part of canon, I guess, because so is all Clone Wars. But yeah, well, this isn't a whole discussion on the show, but I'm really excited about like there's one another story arc that I really like that deals with just the clones, and they deal with one Jedi who essentially has been. It's hard to like he's like a turncoat kind of. He's like, well, I can see the future, and I know that the dark side is going to win, so I'm going to start working for them now, so that when the change happens, I can be on the right side. And he's essentially like sacrificing clones left and right. And
just pause for a second. The clones in the show are done way better than.
Oh yeah, so they're so well done.
Like they make them unique. Like they have like tattoos or whatever.
One guy has his whole face is the like the gear logo on his face, which is sweet.
To differentiate them, have different haircuts, mohawks, head, whatever. Like it's just cool how they differentiate.
Well,
them.
You needed certain characters that weren't from the movies, so.
Like they all have the same face model, like, because they're all clones. But like in the movie, it's like they're just all the same. Yeah. And then sometimes they have like the different like
shoulder piece or color.
Or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely done way better.
I really like how like the stuff they do with the clones is like some of the coolest stuff. It looks like sometimes it's like Saving Private Ryan, like the D-Day scene. You'll come like they'll land on the planet, and like you'll be like inside the dropship, and like you'll follow a group of clones. People like clones will be getting killed. They're like ruthless in this show. People get like their heads chopped off.
It's cool too because they are clones, but they all have different emotions, and like some of them are evil, or some of them are like really good. And
at one point, this one story I'm talking about, where they're dealing with this Jedi, they have to decide what they're going to do. Like their whole thing is about following orders, right?
Yeah.
So in this moment, they have like a thing where they have to kill this Jedi. That's like they decide, you know what, we can't let this guy. He tricked us. We have to kill him. So. That's the first time that they kind of touch on that whole Order 66 stuff. And at one point there's like Rex, who's Anakin's commander, and each Jedi has their own commander. Cody's for Obi-Wan.
So 1 second, the Order 66 that only gets carried at one time though, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So it's not clear how that works, because if they knew about Order 66 at the time, there wouldn't be much of a big deal to them, right? Whereas it seems almost that once Order 66 happens, then they decide they're going to kill him, and like they just have to follow the orders.
They just have to do it.
They just have to do it, but do they know what Order 66 is ahead of time? Do we know that? I don't think they do.
Unless it's programmed.
So I think
cloning process.
That's what they're talking about. That's one story arc about Order 66. I think they're going to touch on that because they don't really
how they like just do it.
They have the one promo clip they have is this one clone who's like kind of he seems to like not be kind of mentally unstable. He's like, I have to follow orders, and he like walks up to the Jedi, like right up to her, and because they don't know what's going on, just one of them, and shoots her in the back. And then the other clones tackle him or whatever, and then take him off in handcuffs. So I think it might be like more of a programming thing, but they don't really touch
so
it.
That makes more sense too.
Or whatever, like,
yeah,
he was defected, but it worked
act on too early.
Yeah.
Especially if in the show they're letting the clones have their own personalities and their own relationships.
That'd be sweet because that's actually a pretty huge key thing that was left out of the movies. You know what I mean? That's huge.
Yeah.
But in the movies, the clones weren't portrayed that way. They were more robotic. Like they were
exactly. And this is they're making them more personalized.
Yeah.
There's one. There's the one like one of the main characters is Commander Rex. Okay. And from the very beginning of this season of the series, he was very much like by the numbers. I follow orders. No, he's not. Which is another character.
Who's the main dude in the movie?
Cody,
and the one who follows him into the temple when he's going to go kill the younglings or whatever is he's got a name as well, and he's got like an arrow down his helmet.
And they were all cloned from Boba Fett's dad.
Yeah.
Django.
So. Anyway, so Rex, who is very much by the numbers and by the book at the beginning of the series, has very much evolved throughout the series and become like he doesn't just about just following orders.
Yeah.
Whereas Cody still very much about just following orders, and you can see that when he turns in episode 3 when he gives him back the lightsaber, and then right away, boom, shoot him down. Whereas this, I think you're going to see because Cody's not in. Not Cody, sorry. Rex isn't in the movies. We got what happens because he's in charge.
It'd actually be cool if they had some sort of like a war between the clones themselves, like the people
the ones who
have the emotion and know that it's wrong to do that, and then the people who follow the order.
There's another episode in the season in the series where Rex comes across. He gets injured or whatever, and he sends off like the rest of his guys. Well, he's gonna like get better. And he runs into a clone deserter. He found some girl, one of the ones with the long ear things, one of the Twi'leks, and it starts a family essentially on his own and away from the war. And so he kind of says like, it's your duty as a soldier to be like a part of the war. Like that is your purpose. And he's like, well, is it really? Because I've started my own family. Mm-hmm. So that's like they kind of touch on that stuff, and I think. I haven't finished season 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be
24 episodes.
Yeah, and they're long and they're good.
So what's the original plan then? How many more seasons can they catch up to 3?
Originally they were going to do at the very very beginning. George Lucas said they were planning on doing 100 episodes, which is about 5 seasons.
So they're close then.
Yeah,
so 6 is close.
They were going to do 6 and be done with 6.
Yeah.
But can't because of what happened with the merger with Disney and Lucasfilm.
Yeah,
it was on Cartoon Network was airing these, which is owned by a different company. So the last season was canceled, but they're going to finish the story arcs that they were going to do and release them separately. And they were already in like 3.
That's fine then.
Yeah, they were already in like 4 episode story arcs anyway, which is like almost like
that's
a movie.
Good. They'll complete it then.
Yeah, so like
now when you have your 6 movies up there, you can put the Clone Wars 6 seasons
right in between.
In between there.
Right in between 2 and 3, and then you have.
2 animated movies.
I'm convinced that they'll be doing some stuff in between 3 and 4. There's a big time gap there.
Or they're just gonna leave it for now. Or like Disney could do it now.
Yeah,
because it's so cool.
Standalone.
Like, just seeing Darth Vader as a badass and whatever.
Because you only ever see him as right when he starts and right when he's gonna die, and that's
because 3 I was hoping for like a 6 battle between him and like Yoda or something.
Just Darth Vader and Yoda,
like in a new CG, like crazy.
Yeah. Because
I don't think that's ever gonna happen, just because of where the characters go.
Yeah, you know that Yoda goes away.
Yoda goes into exile after.
But I'm just saying, in between those movies, Darth Vader could.
He goes around and kills the rest of the Jedi.
There's other Jedi around. So there's plenty for him to do, and there's plenty for them. They have to do to build the Empire.
And that time period was rumored for the TV show, when it was at LucasArts for a long time.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure it'll be done.
Plans could converge to a movie, maybe. So,
but anyway, watch Clone Wars.
It's on my list.
It's hard to do.
The first season's like tough. There's some.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty.
A lot of because they're still really trying to find their their.
But the animation's actually really good.
They get especially as it continues. At the first, there's a lot of like humor with like the droids and stuff. They kind of go away from that, which is.
But it'll be easy for Dan because he knows the lore and like there's Easter eggs everywhere.
It's great. I love it.
It's easy for me. I don't know how my girlfriend's gonna take it, but
no, it's if she'll watch like half the other stuff you make her watch.
She has to watch everything you gotta watch.
You can't watch television on your own?
Well, no, we like to find stuff that neither of us have watched so we can watch together. It's very
or you just make her watch what you like.
Well, like, I made her watch Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. Well, she actually was into Game of Thrones before. But like, yeah, we watched Dollhouse recently just because neither of us have seen it, and you had told me good things about it. It's a really good series, actually.
Yeah, no, I know.
Another Joss Whedon canceled series.
Yeah. At least this one got to end.
Yeah, that's true. They knew.
And then I made her watch Firefly afterwards, and she hated me for it. Just fucking it.
Okay, so is there any other television news that we have to talk about today? There was a bit of news that came out about the S.H.I.E.L.D. television show.
Yeah.
Agent Coulson, how he survived. It's it's kind of spoilery, so skip it ahead a little bit if you don't want to hear this.
Everyone's seen
I think. But let's be honest. No, it's not about the Avengers. It's about.
I'm pretty sure that was the spoiler. The spoiler is that he's alive.
Avengers. Well, it spoils Avengers as well, I guess.
That's a huge.
But everyone's seen Avengers.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, either way, everyone knows how is he going to come back because he's dead in Avengers.
Yeah.
And now they're saying the pretty obvious one that he was used as a crutch or whatever to get the Avengers.
And it worked, and it makes sense. I'm surprised they didn't use the term life model decoy. This happens all the time in the comics. Like, Nick Fury just gets killed a million times, and it turns out it's just a robot of Nick Fury.
But and that's cool to me because I want him to come back.
Yeah, and
but
awesome.
You could also say it kind of ruins the Avengers movie. Like they came together
but also,
on a lie.
Yeah.
Which is like in the Dark Knight, just the Dark Knight, how Dent was alive and they saved that. Yeah, right.
Good came from.
And then the Joker tried to unmask that, right? But
it's a little bit different.
So it's a little bit different. And then there's the fact that Nick Fury had a scene alone with Coulson as he was dying.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was just for the audience.
Exactly. It's like at that point they don't know. So it's like how do you retcon that?
Yeah, that's the one bad because there's no one around. There was no one around. Just those two.
He gets stabbed by Loki. In the back.
And then they talk about.
What exactly does he say to him though? Because maybe if they planned it, maybe he was actually hurt.
He's something about get medics, and then they're on their way.
He even said that they needed this.
Coulson said this is what they needed. Yeah, he was happy.
And then he stops talking, and then Nick Fury puts his head down, he's dead or whatever, and he grabs the card. It's I can use this.
No, he says something about you're not allowed to check out today or something like that. You're not allowed to. I haven't let you go yet, soldier, or something like that. And along those lines, I don't know exactly how it goes, but I guess you could retcon it somehow. I mean, Nick Fury's a crafty fellow.
Whatever.
Another note. Remember he has that gun that was made from
the
what's it called?
Destroyer.
Yeah, which was in the prequel comics.
Yeah,
that tie into.
You read all those. I didn't get a chance.
Well,
to
I
read
gave
all
them to
them.
you, but
yeah, I didn't read them.
Nah.
Nope.
It just shows him working on that tech and trying to make it into a weapon.
I think I've made read some.
And then it's just cool at the little backstory. Then you see it in the movie. Oh, there's the gun.
And Coulson's been in all those one shots, or a lot of those one shots. I haven't seen any of them. But speaking of those one shots, film wise, we're done with television. By the way, guys, there's nothing left to talk about. That was out of our podcast, the Tower of Babble podcast. If you want to find the whole thing, we have it on iTunes and Stitcher. Find more info at our website, towerbabblepodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter @TowerBabbleCast, and like us on Facebook.